In the heart of Oklahoma, a thriving black community emerged in the early 20th century. This community, known as Greenwood, was a beacon of black excellence and economic success. Located in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Greenwood became home to black businesses, schools, churches, and families seeking opportunity and, a better life. This vibrant district, brimming with promise and prosperity, earned the moniker Black Wall Street. The Greenwood community was established by O.W. Gurley, a wealthy black businessman from Arkansas. Gurley purchased 40 acres of land in Tulsa in 1906 with a vision of creating a self-sufficient black community. He envisioned a place where black people could live, work, and thrive without the constraints of segregation and Jim Crow laws. Gurley's vision resonated with many black Americans seeking refuge from the racial injustices prevalent in the South. Gurley's efforts attracted other black entrepreneurs and professionals to Greenwood. Soon, the community blossomed into a thriving hub of black-owned businesses. There were grocery stores, restaurants, clothing stores, theaters, and even a hospital, all owned and operated by black residents. The community's success was a testament to the resilience and entrepreneurial spirit of its residents. Greenwood became a testament to black self-determination and economic empowerment. It was a place where black dollars circulated within the community, fostering economic growth and prosperity for its residents. The district bustled with activity, attracting visitors from far and wide who were drawn to its vibrant culture and economic success. Life in Greenwood was a stark contrast to the segregation and discrimination experienced by black people in other parts of the country. Black residents of Greenwood enjoyed a level of freedom and autonomy rarely found elsewhere during the Jim Crow era. They built beautiful homes, sent their children to quality schools, and had access to healthcare and other essential services within their own community. The Greenwood community placed a high value on education. Booker T. Washington High School, named after the renowned black educator, was a source of pride for the community. The school offered a rigorous curriculum and produced graduates who went on to achieve success in various fields. Greenwood residents understood that education was a key to their advancement and empowerment. Beyond economic prosperity, Greenwood was a place of rich cultural heritage. Jazz music filled the airwaves from the district's clubs, and renowned musicians like Count Basie and Duke Ellington graced the stages of its theaters. Greenwood also boasted its own newspaper, the Tulsa Star, which provided a voice for the community and reported on local events. The success of Black Wall Street challenged the prevailing racist narratives of the time. It demonstrated that black people, when given the opportunity and resources, were capable of creating thriving communities and achieving economic success. Greenwood served as a beacon of hope and inspiration for black communities across the nation. The events that unfolded in Tulsa on May 31, 1921, would forever alter the course of Black Wall Street. A seemingly insignificant incident between a young black man and a white woman in an elevator sparked a chain of events that led to one of the most horrific acts of racial violence in American history. Dick Rowland, a 19-year-old black shoe shiner, entered an elevator in the Drexel Building in downtown Tulsa, where Sarah Page, a 17-year-old white elevator operator, was working. What transpired in the elevator remains unclear, but rumors quickly spread through the city, alleging that Rowland had assaulted Page. The Tulsa Tribune, a local newspaper known for its inflammatory rhetoric and racist views, published a sensationalized story about the incident, fueling racial tensions in the city. The newspaper's account, riddled with exaggerations and fabrications, claimed that Rowland had attacked Page and attempted to rape her. These unfounded accusations ignited a firestorm of anger and resentment among Tulsa's white population. An armed mob gathered at the courthouse, demanding Rowland's lynching. Despite the lack of evidence to support the allegations against him, Rowland was arrested and held at the Tulsa County Courthouse. Fearing for Rowland's safety, a group of armed black World War I veterans went to the courthouse to protect him from the mob. A confrontation ensued between the black veterans and the white mob, and shots were fired. This exchange of gunfire marked the beginning of the Tulsa Race Massacre. The white mob, fueled by racism and emboldened by the initial violence, stormed into Greenwood, unleashing a wave of terror and destruction upon the black community. Armed with guns, torches, and explosives, the mob systematically looted, burned, and destroyed homes, businesses, and churches. Eyewitness accounts describe scenes of unimaginable horror. Black residents were shot in the streets, dragged from their homes, and beaten mercilessly. Many fled for their lives, seeking refuge in churches and other makeshift shelters, only to be met with further violence. The massacre continued unabated for 2 days, May 31st and June 1st, 1921. The Tulsa Police Department, instead of protecting black residents, joined the mob in terrorizing the community. Some law enforcement officers even deputized white civilians, providing them with weapons and authority to participate in the violence. When the smoke finally cleared, the Greenwood district lay in ruins. Over 1,200 homes were destroyed, along with, countless businesses, churches, and schools. The economic heart of Black Wall Street was reduced to ashes, leaving its residents displaced, traumatized, and stripped of their livelihoods. The official death toll from the massacre remains disputed, with estimates ranging from 36 to over 300. Many victims were buried in unmarked graves, and honestly, their stories were lost to history. The true extent of the carnage and the number of lives lost may never be fully known. In the immediate aftermath of the massacre, Black Tulsans faced immense challenges. Thousands were left homeless, forced to live in tents and makeshift shelters. The Red Cross and other aid organizations arrived to provide assistance, but their efforts were hampered by discrimination and limited resources. Despite the devastation and trauma they endured, Black Tulsans displayed remarkable resilience. They immediately began the arduous task of rebuilding their lives and their community. Within days of the massacre, residents began clearing debris and setting up temporary shelters. In the years following the massacre, a concerted effort was made to erase the event from public memory. The Tulsa Tribune retracted its inflammatory article that had incited the violence, and city officials downplayed the extent of the destruction and the number of casualties. Survivors of the massacre faced threats and intimidation if they spoke out about what they had witnessed. Official records of the event were destroyed or sealed, and the massacre was largely absent from history books and public discourse. This silence and denial allowed the perpetrators of the massacre to escape justice. No one was ever held accountable for the killings, injuries, or property damage inflicted upon the Black community. Insurance claims filed by Black residents were denied, leaving them to shoulder the burden of rebuilding their lives with little to no assistance. The cover-up of the Tulsa Race Massacre is a stark reminder of the systemic racism that pervaded American society in the early 20th century. It also highlights the dangers of silencing marginalized voices and suppressing historical truths. For decades, the story of the Tulsa Race Massacre remained largely untold, buried beneath layers of silence and denial. However, the resilience of the Greenwood community and the determination of survivors and their descendants kept the memory of the massacre alive. In recent years, there has been a growing movement to acknowledge and reckon with the history of the Tulsa Race Massacre. Historians, journalists, and activists have worked tirelessly to uncover the truth about what happened in Tulsa and to bring national attention to this long-forgotten chapter of American history. Documentaries, books, and articles have shed new light on the events of 1921, challenging the official narratives and giving voice to the survivors and their descendants. The Tulsa Race Riot Commission, formed in 1997, conducted a comprehensive investigation into the massacre, uncovering previously hidden documents and eyewitness accounts. The commission's report, released in 2001, confirmed the horrific nature of the massacre and called for reparations for survivors and their descendants. While reparations have yet to be fully implemented, the commission's work was a significant step towards acknowledging the injustices of the past. Remembering the Tulsa Race Massacre is not just about acknowledging a dark chapter in American history. It is about confronting the legacy of racial violence and systemic racism that continues to plague our society today. The story of Black Wall Street is a powerful reminder of the resilience and entrepreneurial spirit of Black Americans. It also serves as a stark warning about the dangers of racial hatred, prejudice, and indifference. By learning about the Tulsa Race Massacre, we can better understand the roots of racial inequality in America and work towards creating a more just and equitable society for all. We must remember the victims, honor the survivors, and learn from the mistakes of the past to prevent such atrocities from happening again. The lessons of Tulsa are particularly relevant today, as we grapple with ongoing issues of racial profiling, police brutality, and mass incarceration. The massacre serves as a stark reminder that racial injustice is not a relic of the past, but a persistent problem that demands our attention and action. The Tulsa Race Massacre was a devastating event that inflicted unimaginable pain and suffering on the Black community of Greenwood. However, the story of Black Wall Street is ultimately a story of resilience, determination, and the enduring power of hope. Despite the destruction and loss they endured, Black Tulsans rebuilt their community and their lives. They refused to be defined by the violence inflicted upon them, choosing instead to honor the legacy of Black Wall Street by continuing to strive for equality and justice. The story of Black Wall Street is a testament to the indomitable spirit of Black Americans. It is a story that must be told and remembered so that we can learn from the past and create a better future for all.